All right, y'all. So what we're going to spend from now until mid-April learning about is the topic of electricity. Now, electricity has some Greek roots in its word, and electra is referring to the fact that it's about electrons and what they're doing. And you'll learn a lot more about the subatomic structure later. For right now, what we need to know is that electrons are the part of the atom that can move. This is the whole definition of electricity, is it's literally the flow and distribution of these little critters right there. Now, there are two types of electricity, static and dynamic. Static electricity is something you've been familiar with for a long time. Anytime you've ever gotten like a little shock from touching a metal doorknob, or when your hair stands up as you go down the plastic slide, or sometimes you'll notice like things will stick to certain clothes, or when you pull your socks out of the dryer, they'll stick together. If you've ever been to OMSI or whatever, you'll see like people's hair stand up when they touch the Van de Graaff generator. These are all instances of static electricity, and that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone else, is what we are going to learn about after spring break. So when we come back from spring break, April 6th or whatever it is, this is what we're going to start doing. What we're doing right now, though, is going to start exploring dynamic electricity. And dynamic electricity is most often referred to as just circuits. This is what you think of when you think of electricity. This is going to be things like switches and light bulbs and batteries and, different devices. Ooh, we got a capacitor right there. Ooh, we got circuit schematics right there. We've got a ridiculous circuit simulator right there. A whole bunch of different symbols. When you think of electricity, be it the lights in the ceiling, be it the circuit board inside of your iPad, this is what we're talking about, is dynamic electricity, moving electrons, and they flow in a circuit. Now this are some serious life skills. Honestly, of everything that I'm going to teach you this year, this is the one that someday will save you the most money. What I mean by this is that someday you are probably going to want to own your own house, and inside of your house will be a whole bunch of, you guessed it, circuits like this. If you know how to analyze, create, repair, analyze, create, and repair these things, you can save yourself a bunch of money. For example, a couple summers ago, I had some jobs I wanted done around my house. I wanted a motion detector light put in. I wanted the cable rerouted from my living room to the other side of the wall, and I wanted a ceiling fan put into my room. And I got a guy to come out and give me a quote, and this dude was trying to charge me $700 to do those jobs. And I was like, get out of here, man. I'm not getting $700 for that. I went online, I read a couple of things about basic circuit installation, and I combined that with what I already knew behind the physics of how electricity works, and I wound up spending $24 on the parts for this, right? On like the wire stripper and the cutters and everything else. My math tells me that means I saved $686 in my pocket. That's huge. That's a big deal, and that's one of many instances. I put a ceiling fan in my daughter's room. I put a smart light switch into my kitchen so I can control the lights through my phone now. I have done a lot of work around the house rewiring basic circuits because of the knowledge that I've learned from physics and a couple of things I watched on YouTube, and I'm going to teach you how to save money someday too. So in order for any electric circuit to work, you really need a bare minimum of 3 required pieces. To get any circuit to work, there are 3 required parts that you're going to need. And the first one is going to be a source of energy. Something has to be providing the energy to make the light bulb glow, or the motor spin, or the toaster toast, or the hair curler heat up. Something has to be providing all this energy, and usually, right, when we talk about a portable device, this is going to be a battery. In your house, this from the outlet, the power is coming from the power company, which, depending on where you live in Portland, might be the Bonneville Dam. The second thing that you're going to need is a plate. I don't know why I put a 1 there. I just had second. Duh. The second thing you're going to need is a place for that energy to go. And this could be a light. This could be a fan, this could be a heater, this could be a speaker, this could be anything that the energy is going to be used on. Finally, you're going to need a way from the energy to get to the destination from the source, right? So you need a source of the energy, you need a destination for the energy, and you need a way for the energy to actually get there. The usual source of our energy is going to be a battery. Right? Like I said, if it's in your house, it might be coming out of the wall outlets, and that's different. But if we're talking about your iPad or a flashlight or any sort of portable device, the battery is going to be the source of energy. And we've got like AAAs right there. We've got AAs. You got your big 9 volts, C cell, D cell. There's all sorts of different types of batteries out there. But physicists are lazy, y'all. We don't want to have to draw this over and over and over again. So what we did was come up with a circuit symbol instead. Instead of me having to draw that, or oh my gosh, if I had to draw a 9 volt, you guys are going to laugh at my artwork here. It would look something like this. See, there's my 9 volt. My AAA is even smaller. I don't want to have to draw that. That's gross. What I'm going to do instead is to represent the positive and negative end. I'm going to draw a pair of uneven lines. And big is good, good is better, better is positive, whatever, however you want to remember it. The longer line would be the positive end, and the shorter line would be the negative end, and then we just draw a couple of leads coming off like this. So this component that I just drew, like this, is the exact same thing as this right there. I would connect wires to here and here. I would connect the wires to there and there. All right. The circuit symbol for a battery looks like an unequal equal sign with a pair of wires coming off the end, and here's where we're going to connect the silly thing. You don't need to draw those circles I was just indicating. Second thing that we're going to do, we're going to need in a circuit is somewhere for the energy to go. And this could be a light bulb, this could be a hair straightener, it could be your toaster. This is an electric motor right there. Anything that uses, of course, it doesn't really get used up, does it? Energy can't be created or used or destroyed. It gets converted into something. The fan is going to turn into kinetic energy. The light bulb is going to turn into light. The toaster is going to turn it into heat. The hair straightener is going to turn it into heat. Of course, the light bulb also turns it into heat as well. The generic term that we're going to use for any device that uses or converts the energy is going to be a resistor. Now, a fan is a resistor. A light bulb is a resistor. A hair straightener is a resistor. A toaster, they're all resistors. And the symbol for this thing is pretty easy. I don't want to draw a light bulb. Oh my gosh. I mean, if I had to draw a light bulb, probably look something like that. And you guys would be like, wow, Vogie, you're like a third grader. You can't draw. Shut up. I can draw better than that. I just don't want to. I don't want to have to draw that. I certainly don't want to have to draw a fan. A toaster's not so bad. So what I'm going to do instead, what that was, is represent this as a squiggly line like so. So this is my fan. It's also a toaster. It's also a motor. It's also a curling iron. It's also a waffle iron. It's also an electric griddle. It's also the light bulb. The electricity goes in through this thing. It fights its way through and spends its energy going across those ripples right there and comes back out. It kind of looks like when they hook someone's heart up to an EKG, except if your sinus rhythm looked like this, you'd be in really big trouble. If any of you have parents at home that are in the medical field, you should go ask them what it would look like if your heart's sinus rhythm made this EKG trace right there. The answer is not good. It would be very, very, very bad. If your heartbeat looked like that, it would be horrible. It's supposed to have something like that. You got your little P segment right there, QRS complex, and then the T part coming out over in the end like this. Was I supposed to go? Something like that. If your heart actually looked like this, you'd be dead. You don't want to do that. But I digress. The point I'm trying to make is that instead of having to draw all of these like pictures and everything, we're going to represent anything that needs electricity as a squiggly line like this with some straight lines coming out the end. So the wire like on your the light bulb, you'd have one wire connecting to here and the other one connecting on there inside the socket you screwed into. Here the wire would come in and the wire would come out like that, right? On this end on the toaster or on the curling iron, you plug this thing into the wall and it's got the two little prongs that come in. Well, there's one wire, there's the other wire like that. Finally, you need a way to get the electricity from your source to your device. And the easiest way to do this is wire. Wires are like the little roads or the little pipes that conduct the electricity from the battery to the resistor. And the symbol for a wire is really easy. It's a line. Or it can curve like this, or you can draw it vertical, or if you're really feeling fancy, you can do this. It's just a line. So what we're going to do on Monday is learn how to build our very first circuit. We're going to take a battery, we're going to take a resistor, and we're going to take some wire, and we're going to connect them all together. How we actually go about connecting these things right now, you probably have no idea. You probably look like this fine piece of artwork right here where the guy's throwing his hands up in the air saying, well, I don't know how I connect all this stuff. But that's all right, because that's what I'm going to teach you on Monday. We're going to build our very first circuit together. Now, what I'm really excited for is on Thursday of next week when some of you all are going to be in my class. And I think it's the red group that's coming in. because they're going to be the resistors. I'm going to actually make them take the energy from the battery, and it's going to be, how shall I say, a shocking experience. I'm sorry, that was terrible. All right, y'all, I will see you guys on Monday. There is no concept builder or anything going with this. All you have to do is watch this video. Thank you.